What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of The Outright Bar, and partner in the Ambrosia Collective, as well as Iron Addicts Gym in California. Stay tuned for when our grand reopening will be. Hopefully these COVID restrictions are gone and we can open this thing right up. But anyway, let's get straight to the point. A lot of people are looking at losing fat. All right, we had these crazy lockdowns. And as we say, oh, you could train anywhere, you could train anywhere. When you shut down the gyms, it became bad. It became nasty, it became ugly. People got depressed, they didn't leave their house. They Netflixed and they chilled and they played a bunch of Grand Theft Auto and they ordered in a bunch of Uber Eats because the grand wizards in the government, your good old Fauci's and your good old tyrants up there, were telling us that we can't leave our house. We can't leave our house. Shut your little ass up, Fauci. I hate you. And because of my hatred for you, I am going to do something good for the people that you have affected, the people you have locked in their house, made get obese, made sicker, more immune suppressed by keeping them locked indoors, getting fat, sitting back watching porn, eating Cheetos, wondering why they have an orange penis. That is what you did, Dr. Fauci. And you are no doctor who's a friend of mine. No, you're not. What I'm here to do is help people lose the fat that they gained due to these unprecedented lockdowns. Closing gyms in a time we should be paying attention to our health? Blasphemy. Get your little stupid ass out of here. I don't like you. And I don't like anybody who went and said that we need to lock down. But guess what? It happened. It happened. It's time for us to take back our rights. It's time for us to take back our freedom. And the first thing we need to do is take back our health. We need to get to the gym, or we need to go outside for jogs, get a bunch of sunlight, take your vitamins, eat healthy food. But one thing we need to do is cardio. Cardiovascular activity is key. Now, a lot of you guys have also gotten soft as fuck, meaning you haven't weight trained. Your muscle is flabby. You have no muscle. You have all this fat. You've been sedentary. You've been locked indoors. You're white and fucking pasty. Well, assuming you're light pigmented like me. You haven't gotten enough sunlight. So you need to go to the gym. You need to get jacked. That's right. You need to go weight train. You need to weight train at least 3 to 4 days a week. You need to lift hard. You need to lift heavy. That's a different video. So you're lifting hard and heavy. You're in the gym. You're getting it done. You're out in the sunlight, getting your adequate sun rays. You're taking your vitamins. I'll link a video down below to what I recommend. You're taking your vitamin C, your quercetin, your vitamin D3. You're taking all that good stuff. So you're trying to gain lean mass, right? And you're trying to lose fat. But you also don't want to make your cardio counter your weight training. You want to have the cardio that preserves as much lean mass as possible. You don't want to go to the gym and hit it hard, slapping that ass. You want to go to the gym, you want to hit it hard, and you want to do that cardio and burn that fat, but you don't want to waste all your muscle. So I'm going to go over a couple scenarios. Now, the problem with me is that I can't look at things black and white, which is why I can't write good books. I write great books, dropfactorbook.com. If you're looking for a good fat loss book, that's great. Massdiet.com. If you're looking for a good mass gaining book, that's great. They're both free. If you're looking for me to coach you, go to marclobliner.com. That's also, that does cost money, but that's my coaching. And if you're looking for a great chest training program, there's ml2training.com. I write a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff, but I don't give exact answers, right? There's no perfect plan for everyone. And I do my best in my books to be as general as possible, but when I coach you, everything's personal. So what's the best cardio? Now here's where I actually get to the fucking point of this video. Why do I do this to myself? You know, I remember here I go again, I gotta do this. I took a class in college called Writing for the Mass Media or some shit like that. And it told you to start at the meat of the fucking video or the article. And then as it gets, you get into the article, it gets less important. So basically more important to least important. But my videos start with me talking about a bunch of bullshit. That's probably my views are so low. And then I finally get to the fucking point, like 15 minutes into the fucking video. So I digress. Don't give a fuck. I had to explain why I'm saying this. So the bottom line is, it depends. If all you are doing is cardio, if you are not doing any weight training or minimal weight training, I'm talking 2 days a week, full body, sprints. If you look at sprinters, and again, this is part genetics, more muscular people who have more fast twitch fibers tend to become sprinters, okay? If you look at sprinters versus marathon runners, you look at skinny fat versus holy shit, that guy's jacked. Hamstrings, fucking, just beautiful violin chords going up and down. Just such a great physique. Hopefully I'm talking about men and women, so this isn't weird either way. Whichever way you swing, the greatest asses you'll ever see, like all that fast twitch from running forward, quads, hamstrings, butt. Oh, such a beautiful sight. Or a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. No hetero either. All right, so check it out. So if you're gonna do one form of cardio with minimal weight training to keep muscle, even gain muscle, it's gonna be sprinting. It's gonna be sprinting. Now, let's assume you train 4+ days a week with weights. Now, I'm still gonna say sprinting is your best bet, but that's assuming you don't have a nervous system. I can't sprint. I don't have the energy or the time. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing in a second, but that's another video I want to elaborate on. And I don't want to use up all my video topics in one 30-minute video today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the best cardio, assuming you weight train 4 to 6 days a week, will be low intensity, steady state. Now, when I was Exos, I did my mentorship there. They had this cool little scientific chart. Basically, it explained when and where to use cardio. Now, low intensity training is meant for recovery or burning fat. Low intensity steady state would be walking, would be step mill at a lower level. Not like, but more like step, step, step. Like I do it, right? Walking on the treadmill and incline. I'm not talking sprinting. I'm talking either a light jog or a walk. Elliptical at a nice pace. You carry on a conversation with the person next to you. Medium intensity steady state would be where you're pushing it hard, you're breathing really hard, you can't hold a conversation, yet it's not all out sprinting. That's medium intensity steady state. High intensity interval training would be sprint, all out, let's say 20 to 40 seconds, stop. Sprint, all out, 24 seconds. So that would be like I did yesterday. I ran 40 yards, then I walked back. Ran 40 yards and the walk back was my recovery. So that would be that. So the best time to do low intensity steady state is for recovery or calorie burning. And I'm gonna add in when you're weight training 4 to 6 days a week for fat loss, right? The best time for high intensity steady state would be when you're practicing your sport, you're trying to increase your performance level, or when you don't weight train over, X amount of days a week. Let's say 3 to 4 days a week. The best time for medium intensity steady state would be a fast jog is, I'm going to say never. Unless, remember, there's always that gray area. Unless you're a center mid in soccer and your actual gameplay, unless your sport requires medium intensity steady state, I do not recommend it. So for those of you who I'm guessing are 90% of the people watching this, we do get a lot of athletes watching this because I am an athletic trainer, a strength coach per se, a performance enhancing coach, a PEC. See what I did? PED, never mind. So I think that explains everything too much. So let's surmise this video. If you are weight training 4 or more days a week, you're probably best suited with low intensity steady state. If you are weight training 2 to maybe 4 days a week, you could probably fit in high intensity interval training on non-weight training days. When you do high intensity interval training, it would be basically sprint 40 yards, walk back, sprint 40 yards, walk back for let's say 10 to 20 reps or total sprints. Now, if you are doing weight training, add in cardio as needed to create that caloric deficit. Low intensity steady state will do nothing to interfere in your recovery. It might even enhance it. Unless you are an athlete training for a sport that requires medium intensity steady state, Do not do it. I don't think it's the problem with medium intensity steady state, as I elaborate on this, it's too much to facilitate recovery, but it's too little to enhance performance. But again, there's that caveat. If you're in a sport where you do require long periods of jogging and sprinting, jogging, sprinting, which is essentially center mids. But even in soccer, that's like 2 spots, the 8 and the 10. Maybe the 6, if you guys know soccer, the center mid, the holding mid, and maybe a defending mid, depending on your formation. But if you're looking at a defender, what do? They stand back, they push up, and they make sprints. I'm gonna have them do high intensity interval training. What does a forward do? A forward generally hangs forward, walks, sprints. I'm gonna have them do high intensity interval training as a main form of their training. So again, even out of soccer, out of 11 positions, only 3 of them, it's a very, and that's in one sport. Basketball, generally speaking, there's a lot of sprinting and stopping. Baseball, sprinting and stopping. So even from an athletic standpoint, my daughter's weird. Whereas she plays center mid, I do have her do mile runs. I do have her do 5Ks. But if she got shifted next year, if the coach said, hey, Cammie, you're full-time forward, we're not fucking jogging. Hey, Cammie, you're playing center back, we're not fucking jogging. Not a fucking chance in hell. We're sprinting. Hopefully that helps you. I'm Marc Lobliner. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Marc Lobliner. Subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Jason, I think I got it. Hold on. This one's for Jason Corey. Ring my ding-a-ling. Katie, I did it. I said ring my ding-a-ling. By the way, that gives me a good opportunity to shout out my favorite person in the world. Well, what about your wife? Exactly. I like him better than Katie. Jason Corey, if you want to follow his channel, it's Jason Corey. Jason, throw some shit in about your channel. Jason has a Cane Corso, which is a big fucking dog. This dog jumped on me. I almost broke my shit. Huge black dog, because black dogs matter. Huge dog. And Jason has a really cool channel where he actually shows his relationship with the dog, and he also picks up dog poop with his bare hands. Anyway, I'm Marc Lobliner. Subscribe to my boy. Subscribe to me. That's not a game.